Welcome to my first ever video. So pop your hair back in a cute little headband and let's get started. So I'm using NYX primer. It's a waterproof primer, and just whack that all over your eye and set it with some powder before we're gonna go in with the eyebrows, which I'm using NYX single eyeshadow in Betrayal. So I start in the middle of the eyebrow, work towards the end, make a tail, and then just diffuse it at the start because no one wants a block eyebrow. And I always look angry doing my eyebrows, but that's just the way it is. Gotta get those angles in there. So just work it out, brush it out, because we don't want a hard eyebrow. Block eyebrows are nothing. So then we're gonna clean it up with a Revolution foundation. You can obviously use concealer, but I don't see the point in concealer, so just always use foundation. And it's in the shade F2. And yeah, just make it really sharp underneath and blend it out, because we don't want any sticking, because then it'll be a nightmare to blend out once it dries. And then just clean up the top, make the eyebrow as sharp as possible, and just blend that again, because like I said, no harsh edges. Even if you are applying foundation afterwards, it'll be a nightmare to blend out properly. So just blend it out and diffuse the eyebrow again, or add some in my case, because I ruin my eyebrows. I always take some away when I do it. So now we're gonna go in with Cloud from the Volcano Goddess palette from Becca, and just whack that over your lid as a sort of base, like a transition color. And then we're gonna go straight in with Midnight Sapphire, this beautiful blue. But as you can see, I was having an absolute nightmare with it, because it just wouldn't want to work. Like, it was patchy, wouldn't blend, just wasn't doing anything it was supposed to do. So I just don't know, I refuse to give up on it, because I've tried so hard to set this video up and do it. I just didn't want to let myself down and not record anything. So just keep going with it, blend it in, add more. I changed brushes midway through as well to sort of try pack it in, but it just, I don't know. As you can see, it's not really working that well, but just keep adding more to it. Just keep trying to blend it out, I suppose. See the best you can do with it, because yeah, it's a beautiful blue, and I just refuse to give up on it. Like, I want to use it. It's probably one of the nicest shades I have. But yeah, just working on that. You see a different brush trying to pack it in, but I think this one made it worse, to be honest, if anything. It just wasn't packing it at all. So then I've tried to diffuse it with a granite colour from the same palette, and it's like a taupey shade, because I wanted to sort of stick with the cool on the outside. And as you can see from the shape, I'm trying to go for like a halo eye, so that's why I've left the center blank. So work around everywhere except the center, on the edges, or both corners, on the top, on the bottom, but leave the middles blank. And this is the point where I go in with my finger to try to add some pigment to it. It is very nice, and as you can see on my finger in a second, like, it's so pigmented and so blue and so beautiful. I don't understand what was going on. Like, look at that. Why is that not translating on the lid? I don't know, I just refuse to work with brushes. And now I went back to the old trick, took a little tiny packing brush, licked it to make it wet, to pick up that pigment, and just started dunking it on. So did it everywhere where the blue already was, except not the middle, because we want that for the halo eye, like I said previously. So just keep packing it, just keep blending it, trying to go back into it, and hopefully something comes of it. I mean, it is looking better, but not as good as I wanted it to, so it's quite disappointing. But yeah, just add it around the edges on the blues to intensify the blue, and just make that colour pop like it should do. Just give it some credit. Then we're gonna go in with the gold shade, Gilded. Oh, it's such a beautiful colour. Like, you can't really tell from the pan, but look at it when it goes on. It's like, it's literally dripping. It's like such a molten gold colour. It's amazing. It's like a foily colour, but it's like sparkly, so it makes it, it's just really nice. Like, you can see me pack more and more on. And with that, you don't want any harsh edges again, so blend in the blue into the gold, which is easier said than done. But because both of those are sparkly shades, like the glitter sort of mixes together and like makes it easier. So just keep blending, keep adding more, because you know the gold is amazing. You just need more gold. And in the corners of it, I went in with the shade Lava just underneath the gilded shade, and it's just sort of to make it darker and blend it more together, because it's such a contrast going from the light blue to from the dark blue to the gold. And here you can see me going in with granite again, blending it out and just making it more of a mess, because it's just a really difficult colour to work with for some reason. You know how people say that like blues are like the most difficult shade? I never found that. I always found that reds were, but with this scenario, yeah, it's the blue. It's horrible. So yeah, just going in again, packing more in, blending it out, packing more in, you know the drill, just to make it look good and sort of make it a look that's coherent and nice and flows together. And you want to pack the gold at the top and the bottom in the same area, because you want it to sort of like be like a stripe type thing. So sort of if you looked forward and your pupil was there and you wanted the same, not the same width, but sort of same size and same like direction. And that was me getting frustrated that it wasn't working. So with this, I went in with the original shade Cloud, which is like a whitey, and I tried to blend it out, which did work a bit, because it sort of got rid of the darker pigments, because the white is sort of very, very pigmented, and it's like it overpowered it quite a lot. So just go in again, fix up the colours with the blue, go underneath the gold that was underneath, if that makes sense, because we want it to be as halo-y as possible, and like I wanted the gold to be surrounded by the blue. Again, more gold, because I love the gold. Like if I could, I'd put my whole face around it. And here, putting the gold on the waterline only in the area that the gold is actually on the eyelid, and then making the outer corners dark with the blue to drive the point of the halo eye, to make it concrete and as halo-y as possible. So now it's my least favourite part, the lashes, but with my favourite product I think ever, and it's the Better Than Sex Too Faced mascara. It's so good, honestly. Even though it's not waterproof, it doesn't really run that much, because I usually find the problem with that is that it tends to run. Like non-waterproof mascaras, they just drip and run, even if you're not crying, even if you're not like getting wet, they just don't like staying put. But this one, it works really well. And as you can tell, I don't really have many eyelashes really, so I have to like improvise and I smack it on a lot, like it gets clumpy. And then I've already put glue on my eyelashes, so while they're sort of getting tacky, I'm going to do my foundation, and it's the same one, Revolution F2, the same one I used to clean up my eyebrows. And this is where I sort of make the look work, because like the same with the eyebrows, I get messy with them, I don't really care the shape of them, I do, and then I go in with the foundation and cut the shape. Of course it takes a lot of work, especially with blue. Blue never wants to go underneath foundation for some reason, so it takes a lot of it to get rid of it. I suppose maybe a concealer would do a better job. But yeah, just sort of shape it with the sponge, with the foundation, and I like to go for like a smoky, drawn out look to sort of elongate the eye. But then we don't want any harsh edges, so don't make it like cakey on the area. Sort of blend it out more. And this is where I went in with the powder. Just any translucent setting powder really will do. And because, as like I said, we don't want any harsh edges, go in and blend it out. So I went in again with the blue to sort of diffuse the edges, as I just don't like the blocky cut. So then for the eyelashes, I used So Sue by Suzanne Jackson, and this is the style in Paris. Like a sort of an even length all along, and they just, I thought they fit better with the eye because they're sort of jaggedy as well, if that makes sense. But yeah, eyelashes is an absolute pain to do, and I think everyone hates it. So this always takes me a while. And like at this point, like I blinked around and I got glue in my eye, and the inner corner was poking me, because I always refuse to sort of cut my eyelashes because I never want to ruin them. These ones, bear in mind, they are cheaper, but they are amazing. And of course my eye started watering, so I had to fill in the corners that was falling away. But at the same time, because it was wet and the foil eyeshadow, it made the blue brighter, so I'm not complaining about that. But of course my eyes would be watering just when I don't want them to. So just adjust your eyelashes, make sure they glue together. And then for the eyebrows, because I use the highlighter and it always gets in my eyebrows, so I had to just brush it away, brush the highlight, make them darker. And I only use Diamond Dust from the palette as well, it's just below the cloud colour. And yeah, just brush it out, pose a bit at the end, make sure your eyelashes aren't cutting you. And yeah, so this is also the final look. I mean, it took a lot of hard work blending the blue out, but I think it looks good in the end. I think it looks nice, especially that gold. And with the eyelashes, it sort of completes it all together. And I do love a good halo eye. This is probably the first makeup look without eyeliner that I've done in forever. But yeah, overall the Becca palette is like a 9 out of 10, so it's good. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.